Hey everyone, we are trying to hit 1,000 subscribers and we really need your help. If you are new here, hit that subscribe button as we get started. Before we get into this one, if you are new here, hit that subscribe button right now because this channel covers the moments that the tennis world cannot stop talking about. And trust me, this story has people absolutely losing their minds. Now let us go. Eala just broke the internet. And she did not do it with a match-winning shot. She did not do it with another ranking milestone. She did it from a podcast seat, sitting across from Jessica Pegula, with a smile on her face and an announcement that sent Filipino fans into a complete and total meltdown. The Sampaguita collection is real, it is live, and the moment word got out, everything changed. Stores flooded. Online platforms buckled. And somewhere on the other side of the world, Aryna Sabalenka, the world number one, the dominant force in women's tennis, the player who has given Nike years of her career and repeatedly asked them for better treatment, sat with a feeling she is not used to at all. Not the feeling of losing a match. Something far more uncomfortable than that. The feeling of being left behind. Let us break the whole thing down because the full story is so much wilder than the headline. It started with that podcast moment alongside Pegula. When two tennis stars sit down together, people pay attention. But nobody expected the conversation to turn into a commercial earthquake. Because right there in the middle of it, Eala lit up talking about her Nike Sampaguita collection and what it meant to her personally. She described the night before a major match when her agent sent over a presentation about the Sampaguita project. She read through it, she fell in love with it, and she said it fit her perfectly. You could hear it in every word she spoke. This was not a sponsored talking point. This was genuine, personal, deeply felt pride. And when Eala is proud of something, 100 million Filipinos feel it alongside her. The Sampaguita is not just a flower. It is the national flower of the Philippines, a small white blossom that carries centuries of meaning, of home, of identity, of everything that makes a Filipino feel rooted to where they come from. Nike did not just design a shirt. They told a cultural story. A white tee with a green tennis court background, the Sampaguita blooming at its center, designed by Manila-based artist Georgina Camus. Paired with the iconic Sampaguita hair tie that Nike gifted Eala for her Wimbledon debut, the one that came in a beautiful woven gift box inscribed with the Filipino proverb meaning what is sown will be reaped, the entire collection became something much bigger than sportswear. It became a statement of identity. And Nike captioned Eala's Wimbledon debut with 3 words that said everything: history in full bloom. Eala herself spoke about it with visible emotion. She described wearing that little flower on court as something that reminds her of where she comes from, of her country and her culture, and said that is what makes her special. And that sincerity is the whole secret. You cannot manufacture that. You cannot sit in a boardroom and engineer that kind of connection between an athlete and a fan base. It is completely organic, completely real, and when it exists, it is unstoppable. The merchandise reaction proved it instantly. Sampaguita attire flew off the shelves and off online platforms in the Philippines faster than anyone could keep up with. The collection was featured on the cover of Vogue Philippines. Nike opened a gallery in her name. Every major tournament has come with a new Philippines-themed drop timed perfectly to generate maximum noise right when Eala is on the biggest stages. Each release has been bigger than the last. And the appetite from her fan base only grows stronger with every passing week. Now here is where the story gets truly uncomfortable for Nike. Because while all of this has been building for Eala, the world number one Aryna Sabalenka has been fighting a very different battle with the exact same brand. Sabalenka has been with Nike since 2017. She has won 3 Grand Slams. She finished the 2025 season with a record of 63 wins and 12 losses and 4 singles titles. She dominated from the very first week of the year to the very last. She is, by any measure you care to use, one of the greatest players in women's tennis right now. And what has Nike given her? Repeatedly, tournament after tournament, the same story. No custom outfit. No exclusive design. Just the general collection that other players, including qualifying round players, have shown up wearing before Sabalenka even gets to step on the court. At the 2025 French Open, A player named Jacqueline Christian showed up in a kit almost identical to the one Nike had supposedly created for Sabalenka's Roland Garros campaign. The tennis world was stunned. Then at the 2025 US Open, it happened again. A qualifier walked onto court wearing the same cutout dress that fans had believed was Sabalenka's signature design for the tournament. The defending champion's supposed exclusive outfit, worn by someone still trying to make the main draw. Fans erupted. The phrase "Nike hates Aryna" started trending. People were furious, and the criticism was blunt and justified. As one observer put it, the 2023 US Open was essentially the only occasion when Sabalenka received something truly custom. Every other time, she has gotten a color variation of whatever the rest of the roster is wearing. And Sabalenka herself confirmed at the end of the season that Nike will no longer be creating custom-made dresses for her. She brought it up in a post-match press conference without being asked, and the message was clear. She is aware. She is frustrated. And she has been reaching out to the brand, trying to salvage the relationship, trying to get what she has always deserved as the #1 player on the planet. The signs do not look encouraging. A partnership built over years and years of titles and sacrifices and public loyalty appears to be quietly dissolving. And it is dissolving at the exact moment that Nike's investment in a 20-year-old Filipino player is reaching its most spectacular and visible peak. The cruel irony here is almost too sharp to look at directly. Sabalenka is still winning. She is still the world #1. On the court, nothing about her story has changed. But off it, everything has, because Nike is not just a sportswear deal. Nike is a signal. It tells the world who they believe in, who the future belongs to, and who they are willing to invest their biggest storytelling and cultural energy into. And right now, that signal is pointing directly and unmistakably at Eala. What Eala has built is something that trophies alone cannot create. At the 2026 Australian Open, her first-round match as a player still outside the very top of the rankings generated international headlines and BBC coverage because of the sheer scale of the Filipino community that descended on Melbourne Park to support her. Thousands of fans line up just to watch her practice. She graces the cover of Vogue. She speaks with the eloquence and the emotional intelligence of someone twice her age. She has become, at 20 years old, the face of an entire nation's relationship with tennis. And Nike recognized it early, moved decisively, and built a commercial partnership around it that is already generating results that the entire sportswear industry is watching with their jaws on the floor. Nike remembered the Coco Gauff lesson. They were slow when Gauff rose and New Balance moved in and locked her up in a deal that became one of the most talked about partnerships in the sport. Nike was not going to repeat that mistake. With other major brands reportedly watching Eala's rise very closely, Nike moved with total conviction and gave her not just a contract but a platform, a story, a gallery, a Vogue cover, and a flower that means everything to the country she carries on her back every time she walks onto a court. Sabalenka is still the best player in the world. But Eala is the story the world cannot stop telling. And in the commercial universe that Nike operates in, that distinction matters more than the ranking. Eala is 20 years old. She started 2025 ranked 147. She ended it in the top 50 and she is already at number 29 in 2026. The titles are coming. The deeper Grand Slam runs are coming. And when they arrive, the cultural and commercial empire she has already built will multiply in ways that women's tennis has genuinely never seen before. Sabalenka's frustration is real, it is justified, and she deserves far better than she has been given by a brand she has been loyal to for nearly a decade. But what Nike chose to do instead tells you everything about where they believe the next chapter of women's tennis is being written. It is being written by a 20-year-old from Quezon City with a sampaguita in her hair and 100 million people cheering her every step. The sampaguita collection is just the beginning. And if you are not paying attention to this story yet, you are already behind. If you made it to the end, smash that like button right now because it genuinely helps this channel reach more people. Drop your take in the comments below. Do you think Nike is making the right call here? Does Sabalenka deserve better from a brand she has given almost a decade to? And do you believe Eala is going to become the most commercially powerful athlete in the history of women's tennis? The comment section is open, the debate is absolutely live, and knowing this community, it is going to be electric. Subscribe if you have not already, hit the bell so you never miss a story like this one, and we will see you in the next one.